Floosh cheese song, what did you get? Open up your hee-hee la cassette. Don't worry, parents, it's not a pet. We hope you love your hee-hee la cassette.
Actual hee-hee la cassette do not contain the following: kittens, doggos, or Georges.
Floosh cheese song, Kanoi Masaiga, Tot George, and Mini-Mayhem and we're checking out what we have in our hee-hee la cassette today. Ooh, I see food coloring, some rubber bands, and some cloth masks. That means we're making some tie-dye masks. Alright guys, to do tie-dye masks, it's another activity that requires adult supervision, and I would suggest doing it somewhere like in the bathtub or in a sink, somewhere where it's easy to clean up. I'm choosing to make a workstation with my baking pan, but I'm going to be extra careful, so make sure you check with your parents and see where they would like you to set up. So I have 2 dishes of water, I have my food coloring, I have my mask, I have some rubber bands, and I would suggest using a measuring spoon to help scoop the colored water out when we're ready for it. So after you have a few rubber bands, the first step is to go ahead and pinch in the middle of the mask, Mini. I'm gonna have to get that mayhem. Here, go make mayhem over there. Again, so the first step is to pinch really hard in the middle of the mask and try and get it twisted up as tight as you can. This is hard because the mask is pretty small. And you want it to end up with kind of a spirally shape. And then you're going to start putting on some rubber bands. You can double and triple them up to make sure it stays tight. And I'm going to try to make a design kind of like a spider web on mine, I think. Make sure you get those rubber bands cinched on tight. Alright, I have mine cinched up rather tight, so now I'm going to mix my colors. In mine I got red and blue, but you guys might have some leftover food coloring from one of our previous activities. So I'm going to add quite a bit into my water because I want my red to stay really red. So again, this is why it'd be a good idea to wear some old clothes and do this activity in a sink or somewhere easy to clean because you don't want to make a mess. I'm going to get a second measuring spoon. Be right back. So I'm going to go ahead and make some room and move my colors onto my tray because I don't want a big mess to clean up. Ooh, just in time. And don't forget, you're going to need a Ziploc bag to put your mask in at the ready. Alright, well, I already made a mess with red, so let's start with red. So what you're going to do is try to pick one part of the rubber banded area. I'm going to get these a little lined up better. You're going to put some color on that one section and then switch and put a different color in a different section. I've been wearing a lot of masks because of the COVID pandemic, but I haven't ever worn one that I made myself. Let's not mix the colors, huh, George? So again, if you can see how big of a mess this is making, this is why you should do it over a sink or over some kind of area that your parents help you set up. I know that blue and red make purple. I wonder if parts of this are going to end up being purple. Then I'm going to do a couple of dips to make it really dark in a couple of spaces. And I think I'm ready to add mine into my Ziploc. So you're going to put your mask and whatever else you tie-dyed into your Ziploc bag, and you're going to let it sit for 24 hours. That means 1 day. And then I'm going to check back in with you in just a little bit. Minnie, stop making mayhem, darn it. Now's a great time to get all of your workspace cleaned up, and hopefully you did it somewhere that was easy to clean. All right, guys, I'll check in tomorrow. All right, guys, it has been 24 hours since we started dyeing our masks. So at this point, you need to find a sink or some kind of running water, and we're gonna rinse all the excess dye out and get our rubber bands pulled off. I'm gonna go ahead and pull my rubber bands off first, and it looks like we might have Mini-Mayhem here to help us. Mini-Mayhem, are you making mayhem? Maybe if she gets in the sink, we can give her a quick rinse too. Sometimes with the rubber bands, you do have to cut them off. Uh-oh, she's actually here to eat Jessica's plant. She's gonna get yelled at. Jessica, we're shooting. She's gotta eat. This'll take care of it. So you can see all the dye is running out of the mask now. Ooh, that's a pretty color so far. All right, Minnie. Say bye to everyone. And you want to make sure you're running cold water actually through it until it's all clear coming out. Then we're going to let it dry. And because it's food coloring and not normal tie-dye, it's going to be a little bit lighter than normal. Alright, it started to rinse clear, so now it's time to let it dry. Well guys, my mask is finally dry. You can see that the red stayed in really well, but the blue kind of washed out a little bit. But it's still a pretty cool design. So remember, you can wash these cloth masks with your regular laundry after you make sure all the excess dye is out, otherwise it might stain your clothes. And remember, keep your masks ready because when school starts, we're probably going to be wearing masks in class. So I hope yours turns out as cool as mine did. Hayumasi kanoi masaiga, afki pasalda.
The following resources are available in our community. If you need help with food, you can reach out to the food pantry at 503-879-FOOD. Other resources can be found on this list.
Hee Hee La Cassette productions are filmed in front of a live studio audience.